I think we're ready. I think we are alive right now. I think
Awesome.
this is it. This is it's happening. It's finally happening. I might need to do some more setups here on my end to make sure the
Hmm.
camera is working and whatnot. But I think
Awesome.
yeah, we're live, dude. Awesome. Yeah. So as usual,
Perfect.
when it comes to me, just to give people some heads up and know what's going on. So when it comes to Maciej, what usually happens is I try some shit, then I break it, and then it doesn't work, and that's basically it. But with that being said, we have my good friend Edon Guraziu here with us.
Hello.
How's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing fine. I actually need
Yeah.
to update something real quick here too, because I'm using an old layout. But we're good. We're good. So Eden, dude, how's it going, man? How's life
It's
treating you?
it's it's going pretty all right, man. Just just working and trying to sport and stay in shape and just stay busy. So
Dude, you have to stay busy. You have to stay busy, motherfucker.
of course, but no, right now I'm working at Nvidia and also working on a movie right now. So that's really exciting. And on the side of that, I'm doing a couple of firearms projects, but that's pretty minimal. So yeah, it's pretty varied, and I like it very much.
Firearms, you say, huh?
Mm,
Firearms, weapons and shit. That's awesome.
deadly, deadly weapons.
Deadly weapons,
Yeah,
dude. So I invited you for this stream
right.
because of two reasons. One, you're awesome. That's the
Thanks.
first reason.
Mm.
You're so awesome. It's actually making me hot. So let me remove
Ooh,
my sweater. Ooh,
perfect.
it's getting so
Nice,
hot
dude.
already. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Isn't it? Yeah.
So yeah, so there's two reasons. One, you're awesome. So let's just make
Let's
sure
get that
everyone
out
knows.
of the way.
Yeah, let's get
Yeah.
that out of the way. You're awesome. So that's the first thing, and the second thing is I have some questions to you, man. Like I want to know how to do the Moi stuff. You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Dude, the answer is pretty self-explanatory or pretty easy, I would say.
Please tell me,
Well, first of all, you go to the Moy page and you download it, um,
dude.
and
That is already so complicated.
and you have to make sure because this can be very confusing. Depending on the OS that you're using, you should have the proprietary software installed.
You mean
After
like
that,
operating system?
exactly.
Oh,
What system are you on?
holy!
Dude, this
What
is
are you
getting
trying
very
to
deep very fast.
what are you trying to say here? Are you trying to say like you have to have an operating system to install an application? That
You
is
need an
insane.
OS.
What kind of claims are you trying to push here, dude?
Listen, wait, there's more.
Oh no,
There's
no.
more. Yeah.
Are you serious? All right, I want to
Mhm.
know.
No, basically, dude, what you do is like the way I do things in general, right? If I'm introduced to something new, and back in the day it was like Moi, I never heard of it, and I
Mm-hmm.
installed it, and the license was cheap as fuck, by the way, so I instantly bought it. No need for piracy. Let's get that clean. And basically, you start screwing around a little bit in the program, and if there's something you don't know,
Mm-hmm.
what do? You just go. You don't go to other artists and be like, "Hey, what is the magic website or magic resource
You
that I
don't?
can use to?" Huh?
You don't?
No, dude. No.
Why?
You you got to do it the hard way, man. So you go to YouTube or you go to any forum or
You
website,
mean
and
you
you
go to
and you
Google?
just well, maybe
Or is
you'll
it too
go to Google.
complicated?
I know, man. But listen, hang on.
Okay, I
And
want to know. I want to know. I want to know.
like, let's say you can't figure out the filleting, right, or
Yeah.
the chamfering. You fucking Google that shit. You find a couple of videos, you watch it, you try and apply it to yourself, and you have learned something that'll stay with you forever. So it's actually a very basic principle that you repeat and repeat until you get better. You know yourself. I mean, learning is also learnable, right?
I think you're lying here.
Well, I don't think so.
No, but with all seriousness, okay. No, but you're right. There's something that you're touching upon, which is basically be resourceful. Just start with that.
Exactly.
Be a resourceful person, and yeah. So like it's an actually interesting topic, and I have some things that I want to talk with you guys also towards the end of the stream, like once we're done here. And it's related to exactly what you're saying. So we're gonna loop back to that, but that's maybe a little later. But it is an interesting topic, and I agree with you. Like you have to be resourceful. You cannot just rely on everyone to help you, although that might change. Um, and if you run into a problem, you kind of want to search for the answers until you find them, and that's something I actually started. It started happening to me when I started using Moi, which is a shortcut for moments of inspiration.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed really quickly is that Moi is one of those software where it just so happens it's super powerful, but on the surface it looks like garbage. Like let's just put this out of the way too.
Yeah.
When you load up Moi, it's so stripped from pretty much all the features that are under the hood that
Yeah.
you don't even know how good it is. Like you just literally don't know.
Dude, it's the perfect example of under promise over deliver. You
Yeah,
open up the program, you're like, the fuck is this shit? I want my money back, and then you fucking realize what it's capable of.
yeah.
So
It's
that's so
like
awesome.
my first thing was like I paid $300 for something that has barely half of the features of SketchUp. Like what the fuck?
Right? Exactly.
That was my first reaction.
Yeah.
But that's not true. That is not true at all. Like you quickly notice that, like how do I set up my shortcuts? And then you open like the shortcuts window, and
Mhm.
we'll talk in details about it too. But you open the
Yeah, yeah.
shortcuts window, and
Talking about shortcuts. What about shortcuts in Fusion? How do you do that?
that's an interesting topic. That's an
Uh
interesting
huh.
topic. But I'll tell you. So I have a couple of questions, and we'll talk
Hmm.
about it. But I'll also
Right.
show you some things that Fusion has that I wish, or maybe, uh, maybe let's put it this way: the more I play with Moi, the more I
Yeah.
realize its strengths. And my initial reaction from working with it for a day is that uh, compared to Fusion, it's like this: easy stuff in Fusion is very
Hmm.
easy to do. Very,
Right.
it's like intuitively straightforward. You don't even
Like
have to,
insets.
yeah, like or like doing a uh, any kind of Boolean operation or
Mm.
sketching,
Yeah.
doing fillets that are out of boundary and are sort of like stretching or putting a lot of stress on the geometry or the solid itself.
Hmm.
Like those things are very intuitive because if it doesn't work, it will tell you it doesn't work. Like it will just like you're stupid. Like it will tell you you're stupid. It doesn't work.
Right.
Um, so those things are very easy. But then the more complicated things you want to do, the
Hmm.
more effort they take to do them. So basically, if you want to do some kind of really complex operations on your solids, right? Like you wanna, let's say you wanna do some kind of cool shapes and bend or like whatever you come up with, like some really really elaborate way of modifying the surfaces you already have. It
Right.
it takes a lot of brain power and clicks to get it there. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
And there's always like some small thing hidden here and there, but it's not like, hey, I want to create this, and like there's a hidden tool that I don't even know.
Right.
Compared to Moi, it's exactly the opposite. So at surface, easy things seem to be convoluted and fucked up.
Yeah, dude.
It's very
It's
convoluted to start and understand. It's almost like feeling like you're starting with ZBrush, basically.
Yeah.
And you don't even know what the hell is going on, right?
Dude, it's crazy.
But then you realize, like, hey, there are actually shortcuts that you can script, and you can pretty much shortcut almost every single operation in
True.
Moi. Like
Hmm.
almost, if not everything. Like everything can be a shortcut. I was having an interesting discussion, and we had Vitali on the last stream,
Yeah.
one of the last streams, and I had an interesting conversation because I asked him a couple of questions, and
Hmm.
he said like, "Hey, if you right click, it's like enter." I'm like,
Exactly.
"Are you
That's
shitting
so
me,
fast.
dude? Like,
Yeah.
why it's not written anywhere? Like, nowhere it's written."
Yeah.
Um,
Some things are not communicated through
yeah,
well. Yeah.
and like I asked you about shortcuts. Like you send me a list of shortcuts, and that's pretty easy to find. But I've quickly found out that some of the operation names are displayed on the UI completely different than the script itself. Like the script that you
Mm.
have to put in to tell people, okay, this is because when you can you actually open the shortcuts window so people can understand what we're
Yeah.
talking about.
Sure. Yeah. Hold on one sec, dude. Right.
Yeah, so there you go. Like you just type in what
It's
kind of
easy as
shortcuts.
fuck. Yeah.
It's easy, but then like for instance, flow is the easy one, but
Yeah,
there was
some scripts
one.
you have to manually put in, etc. But like the like mirror, you can assign any key you want, like Command F or whatever,
Yeah,
you
and
know.
that's
So
great.
yeah.
Exactly. But for instance, if you go to I can't remember what it was. I think it was freeform constraint curve, I believe,
Hmm.
or true points. Like true
Hmm.
points is an interesting one. Like true points it's not called true points. It's called curve constraint or something like that, which is like completely different name to what you see in the UI, and that's the confusing part. And that
Yeah.
was the confusing part. Have you ever used Flow?
Flow. I don't think so, dude.
Oh, see, there
Hmm.
you have it. I know something you
Ah.
don't know.
Oh, really?
God
Oh,
damn.
that's fine.
So Flow, you know what the FDD box is, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So Flow is that.
Oh, that's awesome, actually. Oh,
It's
that's
only
cool.
working in one dimension. So you basically the way you do it. So for instance, all right. So you have this model right now, right? On that you're working on.
Hmm.
Go to a. Now I'll show you. See, I teach Edon. Like what the fuck? Uh,
Teach me.
yeah, I'll teach you. I think it's called polygon, not rectangle.
Hmm.
It's a polygon. Um, can you in one of the views you just have to draw the polygon behind. I maybe share my screen and show it.
Yeah, yeah. Please share yours so I can see it on
Yeah,
the
let's
screen
let's
next
do
to me.
that. Let's just do that. That's gonna be easier. All right. Doo-doo-doo. I need to find my mouse on the screen. Alrighty then. Can you see my screen, dude?
Yes.
Perfect. Let's make sure that people can see it too. So my UI looks different. I actually so UI is another topic about that I want to talk to you about. I was bugging you and you were telling me like, hey, there's millions of scripts and plugins that you can find. I went with Chip Walters, I
Chip
believe.
Walters, man, he's
Yeah,
the man. Yeah.
and I'll maybe pull up this channel on YouTube that he has in the meantime. Because someone might ask like, "Hey, how do you set up your UI and whatnot?" So, guys, if you go here, oops, if you go to this channel, it's called Chip Walters, CWALTERS 56. So and go to playlists. He actually has 3D code. Like he has some small tutorials which are pretty cool. But he explains how to set up your Moi, your shortcuts, and your custom UI. So if you dig deep enough, you'll find exactly what to do. He also has his own application that he's built, which is GUI builder, and you basically can use that to set up your own colors for pretty much anything in Moi. So that's a really good resource. I'm actually gonna paste in that link, and he teaches like basics in his videos too. So
Yeah.
so go ahead, use that link, and it will teach you what to do. But let me show you this stuff here. So if you go, let's say, let me create something real quick. See, I'm still learning, so I don't even know how to use this stuff. All right, so I created this box here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let me, I don't even know how to boolean that shit, dude. I'm still learning, dude. Don't judge me.
It's all good, man.
Let me do this, maybe. Just do a little fillet. Like this should be good enough for us. Another thing is like if you right click again, it's like repeating the same operation that you did before.
Very good.
Which is great. All right, so I've created this object here, right? So what you do is you go to, where was that? It was, you go to draw solid, plane.
Mm-hmm.
And then you draw it, actually, I think it was plane, corner to corner. Yeah, so you draw something like this behind it, right?
Right.
And then you take it and copy and paste, right? So you have a next one here. Then you go to construct, I believe, or transformation, no. Here, in edit, add points. And when you hover on the surface, it shows you like different points, right?
Right.
So you click it, and then you can select those points and, move around, just basically deform the surface.
Mm-hmm.
So we did like this weird deformation right here. And so the way flow works, it's basically based on the axis of those two surfaces. It will try to deform the object, and that could be like your whole assembly, even. So this is great. If you go to deform flow, you click the object, right click to confirm the selection, and then so here's an important step, and I was struggling with that, and so Vitaly showed me how to do it.
Right.
And then I tried to do it, and it just didn't work. So I pinged him again, like, hey, how you do it? And then well, it's very important. You have to do this and that. So he said it's very important. Where you click your mouse is very important. So
right.
If I choose to, like, it doesn't matter where you click first time, but you have to click on that surface behind it, right? The one we just drew. So like if I click right here in this corner, that means the next time I click to confirm the surface that I want to map to has to be similar corner. Otherwise, it will flip it or do like weird stuff. So if I see. You see what happens? So now this object that I've created became this bent, cool looking surface that is basically following the deformation of that box that I've created.
I see.
And then you just confirm. But also you can do you can make it rigid, which
you can create a lot of stuff right like that, yeah.
You can flip the surface normals, and you can also delete the old one. So that's something like you don't know even exists. And that's my major grip. Major issue with Moi so far. Like there's so much good shit that you don't even know even exists. So.
Yeah.
But either way, so like I oftentimes run into issues, and I want to show you something that is driving me crazy, and I want to know if you have a solution for it.
Okay, I gotta look at your screen a bit more carefully there.
All right, so what I'm doing here is basically I'm selecting the curve, right?
Yeah.
I'm pressing F, which is my shortcut for the fillet, and then the way fillets work here in In Moi, you basically click, and then you click the distance, and then it just defines the distance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you go for too large of a distance, then you have this, and this is crazy annoying. And then how do you deal with that? Because that can happen depending on how complicated your surface is. It can happen straight away, regardless of how large of the fillet you want to do. So if I do a small fillets like this, it will work. But this, as soon as I want to do a bigger one, it just makes this, and I don't know how to deal with that.
Well, you're out of luck because everyone experiences the same. And I mean, there is a couple of things you can do to ensure that bevels go the right way. But generally, the radius from the top view of the corner is also very important. Let's say you have a very big radius, right, in your fillet of like the corner of a cube. What the radius will do, it'll make it circular. So of that radius, half of the distance will go inwards on horizontally, and half of the distance of the radius will go down vertically. Right. So if the radius is too small, it can't make the bend at the corner.
And we're talking about this inner corner, basically.
Exactly. And maybe I can even demonstrate it if you go back to my screen.
I will.
Good. So I can show you guys what's up. And then all of a sudden it works, that would be funny.
There you have it. It's all yours, baby.
Nice. So you can see, like, if I bevel, yeah. Like, a huge bevel like this would be super easy to bevel large as well, you see? Because the distance equal to the opposite side is large enough to support this transformation. But if I would have this bevel really small, or fillet, and I would use the same bevel size, at one point it won't work anymore,
I think it works on straight.
You see?
Yeah. So it seems to work on better when you have more straight surfaces. And it breaks apart. It breaks apart when you have curved surfaces.
Let's even use a sketch and make a crazy shape like this to simulate maybe a little bit better what you had.
Yeah.
Because right now it's not like a flat corner, but it has to do the bevel on all the angles. And basically, that a sphere doesn't really have a corner, so it doesn't really have a calculation point to stop. It's like a vectorized. So it'll have to create like tons of calculations on each curve. So when we do the same, all of a sudden it works. But yeah, you see it's freaking out. You see, because it can't support the bevel size going inwards on this surface.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the thing you have to deal with. And if you need that shape so bad, you can just go into ZBrush and poly model it. Which is another point I want to make. If you really want like a crazy shape, right? We can go to Maya, and we can create like a sub D model here real quick. Let me just create something very basic here, and sub D it. Now, if I export the selection, I'll just go to cube. And one of the cool scripts that I have is this import OBJ script. So you could do like your crazy organic shapes in quads first in Maya, and you have to be sure that it has quads and not triangles, because otherwise it's not going to work, right? So the import OBJ script will go to desktop. We have the cube, and it'll import it here. And you can see that this is the original mesh, because the way Moi does the smoothing is the same way Maya does the OBJ smoothing script. So let me just
subdividing it.
Subdiv. Yeah, and you can even select the level of subdivision.
It's using the same thing that Rhino is using.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. But I mean, the creator is the same. It's Michael Gibson. He also created Rhino. So it's probably the reason why it's also incorporated in here. But the funny thing is, you can have complicated shapes, and you can just go in and put a boolean in here, right, and just move it into the surface. Let's go to the side view and do whatever you need to do, right? So we make a boolean, and you have an organic shape that has like the CAD sharpness to it, which is a great tool if you need like the more organic shapes. And right now, if I would export it, the export selections or export capabilities are also super cool. So if I go to like a wavefront OBJ, you can see the level of which it exports in, and you can make it angons and do the conversion later in Maya or whatever package you have,
Right.
or triangles only, and select the level of tessellation. So it's dude, I love this program, man, because it does everything you need, right?
Yeah, 3ds Max has an ability to actually import CAD files straight from the CAD format, and then you can actually do the same conversion there inside 3ds Max. You have a little more options, but that's again, like if you're not using 3ds Max, then you're out of luck, and then this is much better solution. So I know, for instance, in Fusion 360 you have to use Mesh Mixer, so that's always an option too. So you would get your IGS or step file, and then you would just open it up in, I believe, Mesh Mixer, and
Right.
yeah. So I think that's what's up.
That's cool.
Let me see. Just gonna remove a little bit of volume from our stream. It seems like the audio might be clipping a little bit.
I see.
But yeah, things like that are really frustrating. Let me maybe show you my screen again, and
Sure.
I'm gonna have a couple more questions. I'm gonna have more questions, and maybe they are gonna appear better if I, present my screen to you, and then you will see exactly what I'm talking about.
Sure, go ahead.
When I'm doing it in Fusion. So you asked about Fusion's ability for shortcuts. They don't have shortcuts, and I've been drilling Curtis Chan, who's the evangelist. He's always the Autodesk Fusion 360 evangelist. He's a really cool guy. Frequent guest on our streams. He's actually gonna come back really soon to join us on our streams. But yeah, we've been drilling him about shortcuts, and I know they're working on it, because the way they've built the whole system, I think they've mentioned the ability to override what they've already built. It's not there, so they have to build like a subsystem that allows you to override specific keys and shortcuts and whatnot. So in terms of what they added, though, which is very handy and helps, is they have this little toolbox which you can customize. It's very similar to Rhino's command tool or command search. So you can, like, I don't know, when you start typing, you'll get all the commands that are having that letter, right? And then you can choose, and let's say if I already have loft, but if I want to have ellipse, if I press this little arrow here, it will add it to the toolbox. It will be here. And if I want to remove it, I just press, like, I find the icon that I have here. If I want to remove the ellipse, I just press X and it just gets removed. And if I want to move things around, I can move them, directly in the toolbox. So that's cool. It's like under S key, so it allows you to, like, quickly, like, if you memorize the major tools that you're using most of the time, it will allow you to be like just S and click, and that already sort of makes everything work, right? So if I create a box, you see I have like already options to work with it. One of the things that I like about Fusion compared to Moi, and I'll show you exactly what I mean, is, and I'm curious if you know whether Moi has that ability, is you can select if you want to do a fillets, right? When you select the edge and you start doing the fill, you get a little pop-up, so you have all the all the settings that you have
the
in
parameters
as well. Yeah, exactly. But then you can just like real time see what are you doing and choose the right angle works for you. And if you want to do
Okay.
like variable, you can do that as well. And then you can see it. You can also add, I think, more points, which allows you to like really bend the surfaces the way you like it, right?
Yeah, I love how Fusion does this. That's true.
So that's one of the cool things. But also is, let's say,
Yeah, that's
um,
amazing. Yeah.
I'm creating this surfaces. Like one of the things that I really would want to know. So that's my first question:
Hmm.
is does Moi allow me to, like, when you want to select a edge for filleting, right? The
Hmm.
way it works, you have a tangent chain, which basically, if the line is continuous, you
Hmm.
can allow it to select the whole thing,
Yeah.
or it's just gonna select one thing, right?
Hmm.
By default, it's on. But if you want to just select only few ones and not be in the tangent, then you can do that as well. But it loops right away. Like it's enabling a loop right away.
Yeah.
Um, I wonder if Moi has that. I'm curious. So see, like I had this deselected and I selected this one, which is should possibly be a loop, and it just
Hmm.
didn't add it. But now, if I have it selected, it adds it. Now, and you can do like crazy. Um, you see, like it breaks at some point, but
Yeah.
it still allows you to keep going. And if you're going too far or something's not working,
You're
it
getting
gives
pushed back,
you get in
right?
pushback and you get an error message. It says like
Hmm.
you cannot do it. You're stupid. And so you push it back down, and it's just gonna like jump around and whatnot. But at least you're seeing what is the end result, right? So that's one of the things that I wish was in Moi. I know Moi has uh, the way it was designed and the way it was built was by definition to basically make it as stripped and simple as possible, so people can customize it the way they like it, right? So I
Yeah.
know that, and that's a good thing. But again, like if I go back to Moi and I did this, this little thing here,
Yeah.
with the Fusion doesn't have that, so and you can do like
Mm.
crazy stuff, crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah. Fusion supports some really cool calculations. But I never really found myself in the situation to create such a shape. I don't know why not, but like only very few times have I had like disappointment or being unhappy about what Moy was uncapable of. But like it's very cool, like the way Fusion calculates these surfaces that you just showed. And I also wish they're here. But the cool thing is that I had a correspondence with Michael Gibson, the creator of Moy, and
Mm-hmm.
I speak him from time to time to check in on him and how far he's progressing with the V4 of the new Moy. And he said that he's working on the viewport, and as soon as that's done, he'll release an open beta.
Nice.
So I'm very excited to see the 64-bit architecture and all the new stuff that's going to be implemented, which I think will be a crazy release because the performance boost will be huge, and all the new features that are going to get included are going to be very nice. So I'm very curious to see. And this is one man against
Yeah, yeah, of
hundreds of
course. No,
people in a fusion department.
let's
So just
let's
imagine.
let's be clear. I love, like, so far, apart from those quirky things that are horribly annoying.
Yeah.
I like it. Like, don't get me
Mm.
wrong. And like one of the things that I find extremely useful is, let's say I have this surface right here. Let's actually shell it. I can't remember. I have so many shortcuts. I can't remember them yet. But
Yeah.
let's shell it.
You work with a tablet or the mouse?
Tablet.
Nice.
So I have this surface. Really cool thing is, let me delete that stuff here and let me create something really quick. I'm much slower,
Oh,
of
that's fine.
course, but I like the do the sketch thing here, which is great.
Yeah. You don't like to use the orthographic setup, switching between the views.
No, honestly,
Oh,
no.
so you do all your work in the 3D view.
I actually do change the views
Hmm.
every now and then. I like the rotation stuff too. It's very
Yeah.
very intuitive. But yeah, what I wanted to do. Okay, so I wanted to basically trim this. Wow, I did a big operation here. What the fuck? Ah, see, it's when you're stupid and you don't know what you're doing. That's exactly what happens when you're learning and it doesn't work, and you're slow as fuck. That's what's up.
That's not a race, dude.
I know, but the way I look at it is, speed is important because work.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. But I mean, speed is definitely a good thing to work towards. To
Yeah,
develop a good workflow and have your tricks and get the job done as fast as possible because it'll save you time and the clients.
yeah.
Um,
So let
but don't
me.
you know don't rush learning. Like get the fundamentals down properly and
Yeah.
it'll go from there.
So what I
So
like about this, and this is great for kit bashing. That's a feature that Fusion doesn't have at all.
hmm
So let's say I have this model right here, right? This little
yeah,
little thingy here.
tell us a bit more about this kid bash you're speaking of.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So if I Control C, which is copying this model, and Control V will just paste it in place. Um, but if I Control C and then Control Shift and V, then I can basically place it on the surface, which is awesome.
Yeah, do you use the
And then
the snap? Oh, sorry.
right click, right click once to basically confirm it, and then right click second time to add another one. So then you can add those Vitali details
Yeah,
everywhere.
can you show that example?
Which one? Oh, do you see my screen? You see my
Yeah,
screen,
yeah,
right?
I'm seeing it, dude. Yeah, look at that shit. Nice.
Yeah, there you go. And
So
then
it's
all you have
following
to
the
do
surface
is,
perfectly.
yeah. Did you use that already?
hmm
Yeah. Well,
Well, like sometimes I like to place them manually,
yeah.
instead of dragging them around and having my fingers pushed on the keyboard constantly. But this is a very good tool, especially on curved surfaces, because it's
Yeah.
hard to get the angle right.
It's important that it sits in the middle though, like right in the middle of
Yeah.
uh, you know, the grid or
Yeah, this is nice.
so then you can just like this is something that I found like immediately for me. If I build everything pretty much in Fusion, right?
hmm
Let's see. Like this is a very quick way. Whoa, did it work? What the fuck? Oh, I know what's happening. There you go. This is a very quick way to add details, and it would take me much longer in Fusion to get that kind of surface details because you can still use align in Fusion and it works really well,
hmm
but it's not as fast. Like this is super fast, and this is something I really like. And speed is important. As you said, like sometimes it's you just want to get your ideas fast. You don't want to get boggled down on the ideas when you're trying to create something, and then you're thinking about technical issues. That moment of like it's actually funny. It's a funny pun. That moment of inspiration goes away.
Exactly.
And that's what Vitali said. Like when I was talking with him, and he mentioned that on our stream too. It's like,
Yeah, I remember.
yeah, it goes away. Like the reason why you would want to do it in the first place is you want to do it just to speed up your process and really be free of tools and design your ideas rather than be boggled down with shit that just is annoying. So
It's so true because I left Fusion for a reason. Not only because my MacBook wasn't fast enough, and I think they patched that problem already, so it's running fine. But I would have an idea. I would hop onto my PC, and I couldn't get the most simple of actions going on, and that's what ruins it for me. And I know with Moy or Maya, because I know Maya well enough through the years of learning it. But Moy is so easy to get down. I mean, the learning curve is almost nothing. That it's almost like drawing on paper. It's
yeah,
it has that essence of paper and a pencil, which I love. So
right. Um, another question I would have for you is this. So let me see. I think, yeah, there we go. So this is pretty cool.